R&R in the morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
This is R&R in the morning here on San Antonio Sports Star. He is Rudy J, an award-winning journalist. I'm Rob Thompson. I get to sit next to him every morning. James Pledger's tie matches his shoes, so you got a lot of stuff going on here around the Radio Ranch. It is a Monday morning. Not a lot to celebrate if you're a college football fan, but if you're a Roadrunner, birds up, baby. They took it home. Nice comeback win. Nice overtime win. Let's talk to the architect of that win. That's Coach Jeff Traylor of your UTSA Roadrunners. Good morning, Coach. How you feeling this day?
Oh, we're doing just lovely. You know, we're all about our media. You know, we want to keep things exciting for you guys. You got something to talk about.
You did.
Overtime. And what's going on with this overtime thing? Is this going to be the rest of the way, Coach?
You know, I tease y'all how much my staff gives me a hard time about speaking stuff into existence. In 2001, my very first game of the year, I got beaten triple overtime. And then the next week we won in overtime. And I told my staff, and they were like, "You got to stop saying crap like that. You're going to put us in overtime with the Army." So when Sackett went out there to kick that field goal to win the game, and he missed it, my brother who was on that staff with me, he literally on the head said, "You got to stop doing this, bro. You got to stop doing it."
You're going to kill us all, man.
Coach, that kick, was it windy?
Rudy?
Was it windy?
What was it?
I was like, ball game. We out of here. And then it just went right. I was like, what happened?
It didn't even start right. It literally started
Down the middle. Down the middle.
It ended up where my ball does the Dominion on top of somebody's house.
Exactly. You know, Coach, my question, how do you teach a team to win?
Great question.
Because you've done that. You got a young team that knows how to win football games. How do you teach that?
Well, it starts with your culture, and that's where belief, respect for each other, love, those very things, integrity, passion, mental and physical toughness, selfless, perfect effort, trust the process, you know, pound the fist and win the day. I mean, that's where it starts. Then it's where the coaching comes in. What do your kids do well? And just practice the hell out of that. And what are they not good at? And how do you cover for that? And when you get too many holes, like right now, we're really struggling at offensive tackle because we've lost 4 kids there. And that's just hard. When you have to move a guard to tackle, and Frankie's done a hell of a job of walk on for us at tackle. It's just hard to overcome 4 injuries in one spot. So you got to have a little luck involved as well. And I know everybody's like, well, you got to protect those kids. Well, you can only chip and bump those guys so long before internal pressure starts happening, which is what happened to us Saturday as well. So there's a lot to it. And I'm blessed. I've got a really good quarterback, and he makes me look right.
Sir.
You know, as a member of the media, you know, we tweet during the games while we're watching you guys. And during the Houston game, because we didn't get to talk to you last week, I tweeted out, because of last season, I'm never worried when y'all get in these situations because of Frank. I mean, and that's good. It's a total team effort. It's a total coaching effort. I'm not, you know, but he's like I think he's the thing that just keeps everybody at calm. Talk about Frank and what he means in his 359 3-touchdown performance, Coach.
Well, we talked to our team about it, honestly. When you have a guy like that, you need to embrace it and be grateful.
Right.
Because we've all been a part. You know, this is my 33rd year to coach. Been a head coach for 18. You don't have many guys like that. Now, obviously, when you've won as many games as I have in my career, you've had more of those than you haven't had, or you don't get to sit in the chairs. But those guys are really special. What starts as Frank is never about Frank.
Right.
It always starts with the city. It's always about the city of San Antonio, and it's always about his teammates. It's never about Frank. He's raised by a wonderful mother and father. He loves the Lord. I mean, he as soon as he hits that field, he's going to drop his knee and pray. And as soon as he leaves that field, he's going to drop his knee and pray. He's the first one in the building. He's the last one to leave. He's all that. And the kid can really run, and he's become a really accurate thrower, and he knows that offense like crazy. And he's my dude, man. He's taken care of me for 3 years now.
I think that hurdle, that was a real key point in the game. But back to last week in preparation for this game, Coach, how important was it for you guys this week to say, you know what, I know we're down at tackle, but we got to get Brady and the running game going? Was that talked about last week, or did it just happen this way this past Saturday?
No, it was very much happened. You know, we went into the game knowing we were left tackle. We had to move Bentley out there, who's a guard against Houston. Then when Mackay went down on the 6th play of the game, that made 4 offensive tackles that had gone down in a month. That's really hard to overcome. I felt terrible for Coach Stein when you're calling plays. You know we're going to try to help protect on the left, but then when you down on the right as well, there's just not any protections where you can double team somebody on the right and the left. Now you're weak internally, so that was tough on us. But we knew in order to slow down their rush, we had to run the football, and we've got to continue to do that. You don't win championships without running the football and playing great defense. We've got 3 special receivers.
Oh my God!
We've got quarterback special, but you can't continue to throw in it 45 times every Saturday and win a championship.
Jeff Traylor, head coach of the UTSA Roadrunners, joining us here on the Star for his weekly. In the broadest sense of the word, and the sense of prepping for a big game like this, and certainly it's been circled. Would you have preferred if Texas would have won?
I know how they feel. I think they outplayed Alabama. I mean, and they did it at home in front of an emotional crowd. I know that feeling, right? We just lived that last week. I know it got my kids' attention. We buttoned up. And I know everybody's worried about it causing us to lose 2 in a row. I think the head coach did a worse job of handling that than the players did. The players did a great job of getting me back on track because I violated the 24-hour rule about 2 hours. I was still a bit pissed off on Thursday. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have.
No, that's all right.
You're good. You're good.
No,
you're good.
You're with us.
I apologize for that to the listeners.
I'm sure they're pissed.
I imagine Texas is just like we were, just angry at the world. So it'll be interesting to see. Man, that was an unbelievable ball game. They let the ton on the field, and they've done a really good job. They've improved that roster tremendously. I also empathize with Steve because remember we lost our 4 quarterbacks.
Right.
My first year here. So I know what that's like to go through that quarterback shuffle. That's tough on a coach.
I guess this is a 2-part question, Coach. Where are you guys at? When's the last time? What have you seen them since Saturday? And where are y'all physically? Like, I mean, that was Houston triple overtime. Army is just
they're bruising, man.
And then, so where are you? Where do you feel like your team is at physically, and how do you balance getting them ready, but also let's make sure we recover?
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's a fine line. We played 3 teams, arguably they're top 25 in a row. 2 factually are.
Right.
And Army, I would argue, is as well, just because of the success they've had in the last decade. It's a great question. We're beat up. There's no doubt. We've played basically 3 ball games in 2, and the effort we gave in both those games, it's just hard to do that every single week. But, man, our kids find a way to do it. We've got to be smart with them this week. Unfortunately, this team we're fixing to play is more physical than the first 2 just because they're so much bigger and they're so much faster. So, I understand I'm no scientist, but there's something called physics. And when you're really, really big and you're really, really fast, that's going to cause more power coming at my guys. So we're going to play a more physical team than we had the last 2 weeks. We just got to be smart and get them a good plan and get to Austin Saturday, be ready to roll with DKR.
I don't know if this is a violation, Coach, but I think you're going into this game with the best quarterback on the field.
I think so, too.
Is that a violation? I don't want you to disrespect Texas, but I think, what Frank has done these first couple of weeks and going into last season and considering what they're dealing with. And then you got 3 receivers that had 27 catches this past week. I like your chances, Coach. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to say it out loud. I like your chances.
Rudy. I know we're going
to my bad.
You think you're going to get this old man to fall for that old trick? No way in the world I'm putting that out there for that UT media.
All right, you're right.
You know I love my team. I love my kids. And I love Frank Harris. That's on the record, and I stand by that. But you're not getting me into saying all that nonsense, Rudy. We just going to show up, represent the brand, baby, see what happens Saturday night.
You talk about matching up physically with a team like Texas, and I'll tell you, Coach, in the years that we followed UTSA, really for the first time this year when I watched you guys warming up against Houston, I didn't see a single skinny leg out there. For the longest time, UTSA had, there were prospects, there were players. You had some skinny legs running on the third and fourth. You guys roll out looking like high D1 property. I mean, that's what it. So I'm not worried about that. I think you guys match up physically. You got the guys. It's how do you prepare for a team like Texas who's on a rebound? You don't know who the quarterback is. What do you focus in on? Is it if they're not going to have a quarterback, it's going to be a lot of Bijan. We're going to load the front, or you got some wines there that are going to play, and do you expect to see more passing depending on who they're going to play?
I think Bijan's quite arguably the best running back in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable human. His balance, his power in the lower body, it's second to none. I also believe Roschon Johnson's the best backup running back in the country. And I like my two backs now. I love my backs too. But, I mean, these guys, they are freakishly different up front. I mean, I know you're bragging about our size of our kids, and we have upgraded there, but you're looking at Christian Jones, 6'6", 315, Cole Hudson, 6'5", 310, Hayden Connor, 6'5", 320, Kelvin Banks, 6'5", 300. That is some crazy stuff. That Worthy kid at receiver.
He's a handful.
That guy's different now. So they've got some beasts over there. And Steve's a really good play caller and designer of offense. He'll give those guys a great plan. Defensively, of course, I recruited Jerry Thompson and Overshawn. They're both from East Texas, and those guys they're different. The Jameson kid at corner, Colburn, and Ojro inside. Yeah, they've gotten a lot better. They have done a really good job of improving their roster, and they're going to give us all we can handle Saturday.
I think they may be a little beat up too, Coach. I know y'all are, but I mean, after a physical game like that, I know they're moving to SEC in 2025. It was kind of like a welcome to the SEC because, I mean, they're pretty banged up as well, and they're probably dealing with the same thing you are with recovery-wise.
Well, but here's where I'd say it's a little different, and I've been in that SEC, so I know. It's the 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row that get you, right? Like they got to play Monroe and then Alabama, right? We went Houston, Army, Texas. That's SEC light, right? That's what you're saying, Rudy, is so true. That's SEC. What they play was an SEC team, and when you go to that SEC, the very next week you're doing that again. Then the very next week you're doing that again. It's the war of attrition. And we've just got to get through this week. And we've got to get through this week healthy and play really well, play some clean football. But me playing 3 physical games in a row, I am concerned for my kids. But we've been intentional, Rudy. We've played a ton of players. We have played players trying to anticipate this 3-game stretch.
And I think in that college football in a nutshell, you got to be 3 deep.
You got to be 3 deep. There's just no question about it in this era. You just have to be that deep. And Coach, if you're curious about how to take the air out of a stadium, watch that App State tape. They took the air out of Kyle Field, and you get the feeling that's what you're going to have to do coming up in Austin. I mean, just take the air out of the field, dominate.
I haven't had a chance to watch that one. I've heard a lot about it, but obviously I've spent most of my time watching this Burn Orange. It looked pretty impressive against Alabama and against Monroe. So we're going to have our hands full. But yeah, what a great day for, college football. We need to keep college football the way it is.
Oh, glorious.
And, there's nothing better than when you just don't know who's going to win the game.
Hey, Coach, congratulations yet again. A hard-fought, well-coached, great win all the way around. It doesn't get any easier as Texas is on the docket, but I couldn't feel any better than I do today about those Roadrunners. Good job, Coach. Congratulations.
Great win.
Great win. A good week of practice. Stay healthy. We look forward to talking to you next week.
Thanks, Rob. Really appreciate y'all. God bless. Birds up.
Birds up, man.